Hi, welcome to PlanSwift, the #1 takeoff and estimating software in the world. In this video, we will be demonstrating the basics of PlanSwift, from creating a job, digitizing a takeoff, exporting takeoff data to Excel, and other basic tools and functions of this software. Let's begin. So this is the window that you'll see once you open PlanSwift version 10 or higher. As you can see, there are already sample plans that the developers have present for the users to experiment on them. But for now, we'll neglect all of these. Let us first explore the different parts or sections of PlanSwift. These options found on the topmost part are called tabs. The Home, Page, Tools and View tabs are different toolbars associated with plan viewing and takeoff. The Estimating tab is where you can view your takeoff summary in details. List, templates, and settings are where you can configure PlanSwift and set up reusable objects such as assemblies, lists, and others. Reports. Well, that's pretty straightforward. You can run several built-in reports and export or print them. The Help tab provides you a wealth of resources for you to get started. And lastly, plugins allow you to add optional features and functionality to PlanSwift. Most of this video will only focus on the functions found in the Home tab. This set of functions or options located on top is called the ribbon bar menu. Now, let's start digitizing. The Open button opens the Open Job window, which contains all of the existing jobs or takeoffs located on your device. There are 2 existing jobs here present by the PlanSwift developers. However, digitizing always starts with creating a new job. To do so, click on the New button to start a new job. Once clicked, the New Job window will appear. This window allows us to name and describe the job, add any notes, and specify whether the measurements are to be in English or in metric. It's all a matter of preference with the names and descriptions. But for the measurements, we'll of course go with metric. Then click Next. This will now prompt us to browse and select the files we want to digitize. As you may recall from our presentation, PlanSwift supports all major digital file formats. Let me select the files that we digitized last semester in our quantity surveying course. Once the files are selected, click Next. If you miss to select some files, don't worry, you can always add them later on. This window will pop up, allowing you to set up conversion settings or page naming needs if you have any. But for now, we'll just proceed and click Next. PlanSwift now tells us that we are now ready to create our new job. Click Finish. Now we wait for all the files to be imported. After the import is complete, the job is now created. Notice that the plans I have exported are displayed incorrectly, as I have to rotate them 180 degrees. If you need to rotate your pages, select first the pages you want to rotate here in the left window. Then click on the Page tab and click on Batch Rotate Pages. Click Selected Pages, rotate 180 and click Start. Your pages are now rotated as per your preference. Mr. Panganiban, please take the floor.
Thank you, Ms. Peralta. So the next thing to do here is to scale the pages. If you may recall from our discussion, there are 2 types of scaling, manual and automatic. PlanSwift must know the correct scale for your plans, otherwise it will not allow you to start a takeoff. So most plans will come with a scale like this plan, which is 1:100 meters, and this is where the automatic scaling may come in handy. So to automatically scale your plan, go to the Home tab, click on the drop-down half of the Scale button, and select from the list the scale that is indicated in your plan. So in this case, it is 1:100 meters. This window will then pop up asking for confirmation. If you click Agree, your plan will be automatically scaled according to what you have selected. However, I will click Disagree because I would rather use manual scaling, and I will explain why. It is recommended to use manual scaling for plans or files that are not directly exported from AutoCAD or any CAD software, like this plan that we have here on the screen, which is only a scanned copy of the original plans. To manually scale your plan, click on the Scale button, or you can also click on the drop-down half and select Standard. This window will pop up and you should input here a known dimension from the plan. It is recommended to input here the longest dimension. In this case, I will input this 48,800 millimeters or 48.8 meters dimension. Click OK. Next, you should click 2 points on the plan that indicates the 48.8 meters. You can hold the M key on your keyboard to magnify the page, just like that, and you can hold on your middle mouse button to pan the page. So the 48.8 meters starts from this point all the way to this point. Now your plan is horizontally scaled. Do the same thing to scale your plan vertically. So click on Scale, input the longest vertical dimension, which is 59.975, OK, and click on the 2 points that indicates the 59.975 dimension. Your plan is now vertically scaled. You'll know that your plan is horizontally and vertically scaled when you see this little plus icon with arrowhead beside the name of the page in the Pages Bookmarks window. If you make a mistake on your scale and you want to remove it, click on the Scale button, click Clear Scale, and click Yes. Next, you have to level the pages. The plans here I have on the screen are not leveled correctly because they are just scan copies of the original plans. If I try to draw a straight horizontal line here using the Dimension tool, you'll notice that it does not match the horizontal line on the plan, which means that the plan is slightly rotated. By the way, I was able to make this straight horizontal line with the help of the Ortho tool. With the Ortho tool turned on, you can keep and snap lines straight at a 90-degree or 45-degree angle. To do this, press the Ortho button at the bottom of the main window or simply press F8 on your keyboard. You'll know that it is turned on when the background color of the Ortho button shifts to a darker one. Now back to page leveling. So to level a page correctly, go to the Page tab, click on Level, then click on 2 points in the plan that is intended to be straight. The plan then automatically straightens out. I will now scale and level all the plans here for a moment. I cut the video in scaling and leveling the other pages. You can see these arrowheads here indicating that they are already scaled. Now that all the plans are scaled and leveled correctly, we are now ready to do our takeoff. Mr. Catindoy, show them how it's done.
Will do, Mr. Panganiban. So we have presented to you earlier the takeoff tools in PlanSwift, namely Area, Linear, Segment, and Count. These tools are located in the ribbon bar menu and they all work similarly. The top half of these buttons will perform simple takeoff, while the drop-down halves perform more specific takeoffs. Let's start with an area takeoff. Let's first take off the floor area of this bathroom right here. Clicking on the area tool or pressing number 1 on your keyboard opens the Properties area window, where you give the takeoff a name and assign a color and fill type to it. So I will name this takeoff bathroom and pick a color and fill type that I want. After clicking OK, notice that the Digitizer record button on the ribbon bar menu turns on. It transitions from green to red, indicating that you can begin the takeoff. Before clicking anything on the plan, we suggest to verify first if you have your desired record mode found on the bottom of the main window. There are two types of mode as presented in our discussion, the box mode and the point-to-point mode. I will show you the difference between the two, starting with the point-to-point mode. The point-to-point mode prompts you to select the corners of the area that you want to take off. This bathroom has 6 corners. To take off this bathroom, I will now click on the corner one by one in a clockwise or counterclockwise manner. Don't forget to press M to magnify the page for more accuracy. Take note that if you are holding M, it is better to use the right button of your mouse to pan the page instead of the middle scroll button. Once you have selected the last corner of the area, you can either stop the takeoff or take off another area. To stop a takeoff, you have 3 options. 1. You can simply press the Escape or R button on your keyboard. 2. You can click the Digitizer record found on the ribbon bar menu. And 3. You can right-click on your mouse and select Stop. I will now stop the takeoff using option 3. For the box mode, let me show it to you through the takeoff of this balcony. So once again, click Area. I'll name it Balcony. OK. Click the record mode to switch from point to box mode. The box mode is very simple. you just have to click 2 points to form a box in order to take off an area. Take note that the box mode is only useful for square or rectangular areas. Stop the takeoff after you've covered the areas you want to digitize. Remember that the point-to-point mode is better to use than the box mode if you are going to digitize an area with the shape of a polygon that is not square or rectangular. The Pages bookmarks window found on the left side shows the completed area takeoff name, takeoff value, and fill color. Clicking on the yellow light bulb hides the takeoff on the plan and redisplay it when it click again to toggle it back to yellow. In cases of arcs or curve, you can create an arc by simply pressing A on your keyboard during a takeoff. For example, I will digitize the swimming pool area here. So area, name it swimming pool, okay. When I'm already digitizing, I will click or stop on the point where it starts to curve. I then press A on the keyboard and click to the point where the curve stops. And you have to adjust it and find the correct curve with your mouse, just like that. I will continue to do this on the other part. So, starting point of the curve, press A, and point of the curve. That's how you take off a curve or an arc. In cases of irregular and non-polygonal shape like this landscape figure here, you can digitize it using the freehand tool. The freehand tool allows you to take off as if you are holding a pen in your hand. Turn on the freehand tool by clicking on it on the bottom of the main window. Click area, set a name, let's say landscape, okay. Position your cursor on the first point. Click and hold the left mouse button until freehand is shown in the floating box next to your cursor. You can now digitize with freehand until you release your hold on your mouse. If you make a mistake, release your hold and press backspace on your keyboard to undo the mistake. Turn on snap for your cursor to snap to the last point so that you may continue digitizing there. To turn on snap, click on the snap button located at the bottom of the main window, or simply press F3 on your keyboard. To clarify, the snap tools allow you to snap at any known point in your takeoff. It is not limited to freehand takeoff. And that's how you take off using the area tool. Miss Taguba, you may now take the wheel.
Roger that, Mr. Catindoy. So guys, let's try the linear takeoff. Performing a linear takeoff is similar to performing an area takeoff. Linear takeoff uses a line to take off continuous items such as fencing, piping, electrical runs, cove lights, wall areas, and others. Let's try to take off the cove lights on this reflected ceiling plan. Click on the linear tool or pressing the number 2 on your keyboard opens the Properties linear window that is similar to the Properties area window. Set a name, cove lights, and click OK. Position your crosshair to the first point of your takeoff and continue to digitize to the other corners or points. If you notice, this is just like the line command in AutoCAD. Once you think you're done, stop the takeoff. The total length of the cove lights you digitize is now displayed on the left window. Similar to the area tool, you can also choose between point-to-point and box mode. You can also perform linear arcs and linear freehand, in which the mechanics is the same with the area tool presented a while ago. Now, before we proceed with the segment takeoff, let's talk about the Verify Points tool. The Verify Points tool prompts us to verify the dimensions of a line each time we perform a takeoff. Let me show you how it works. First, turn on the Verify Points at the bottom of the main window, or simply press F6 on your keyboard. If the freehand tool is turned on, Verify Points will not work, so make sure freehand is turned off. Let me take off the outer wall of this building. So linear, I will name it exterior wall. Okay, with the Verify Points turned on, each time you digitize a section, this window will appear, called the Verify Entry window. This window shows you the dimension of the section that you just digitized and allows you to change that value. So for this line, it tells me that it is 9.1 meters horizontally and 0 meters vertically. However, I know that this line is 9 meters according to the plan. Verify points gives me the power to change it for it to be accurate. I will change it now to 9 meters and the line will automatically adjust according to what value I have inputted. However, there's a downside of this tool. This is accurate for only whole numbers in the metric system. This is because this second value here is erroneous as it corresponds to the inch unit of the English system, wherein if we input half a foot or 6 inches, it will reflect to a half meter or 0.5 meter on the plan. On the other side, when you are using the English system, the Verify Points tool is impeccable. Let's now proceed with the segment takeoff. Segment takeoff is almost the same with the linear takeoff. Their difference is that in segment takeoff, whenever you are finished clicking on two endpoints of a line, it allows you to take off a separate line. Let me show you how it works. Let's take off the area of these bedroom walls. Since we're going to take off the area of a wall and not only its length, we're going to use the metric wall area segment. You can also do this in the linear tool, except that your lines will be continuous. Click on the drop-down half of the segment button and select metric wall area segment. This window will then pop up. In the General tab, you will input a name, the height and the width of the wall, and the number of wall sides. In the Appearance tab, you will select a color and fill type. So, bedroom walls. Let's assume the height to be 3 meters and the width to be 100 millimeters. The number of wall sides will of course be 2. Click OK. For wall areas, if you are digitizing a horizontal line, position your cursor on the top left of the wall. For vertical lines, position it on the top right. So here, I will position my cursor on the top left and continue to digitize the other walls. Notice that unlike in the linear tool, the segment tool automatically lets you digitize a separate line once you finish clicking on 2 points. Once you're finished, stop the takeoff. You can now see on the left window the total area of the walls that you digitize. Similar to the area and linear tool, you can also perform arcs in the segment tool with the same mechanics. However, the freehand tool will not work with this tool, as well as choosing between point-to-point and box mode. Now, Ms. Peralta will demonstrate the last takeoff tool.
Finally, the last takeoff tool, the count tool. From the word itself, the count tool simply counts items in your plan such as doors, vents, manholes, trees, and many others. Let's count the manholes in this plan. Click on the count button or simply press the number 4 on your keyboard. This properties window will pop up. Label it as manholes, and you can choose what shape you like that you will show on your plan once you count the items. You can choose among circle, square, diamond, plus sign, and triangle. I want to use a square to match the shape of the manholes. Click OK. Then all you have to do is to click on the items that you want to count on the plan. So I will click on all of the manholes on this plan. Once you're done, stop the takeoff. Very easy. You can now see in the left window the number of manholes present in the plan. If you want to add another section to the area, linear, segment, or count that you already digitized, simply press the green button that appears on the left of the takeoff item and proceed to digitize. Or you can select the takeoff on the plan. Click on New Section on the ribbon bar menu and proceed to digitize. Whenever you're adding a new value to an item, the total value of that item displayed on the left window will automatically update. If you have similar areas on your plan, just like these bathrooms, you can simply copy an existing digitized area and paste it on the identical area. To do this, select the digitized area. Right-click, copy. Then position your cursor on the top left part of the identical area. Right-click and paste. That's how you add sections to your takeoff on the same pages. But how about on the other pages? If you want to add another section to your takeoff that you already digitized, but that section is located on a different page, you can do it just well. Let's just say that I want to take off the floor area on this balcony in the 8th floor, but I want it to be the same item as the balcony in the 7th floor. The first step is to make sure that you are on the page where you want to take off, hence, in this case, the 8th floor. Then, hover on the takeoff item on the left window where you want your new takeoff to be added. In this case, the balcony. Click on the green button on its left side, and then perform the takeoff. PlanSwift adds up the values of all new sections, even when they're on different pages. The grand total on these values is located in the sidebar takeoff summary area. If you want to save a specific view on Plan and you want to easily get back to it later at some time, you can do it with the bookmark tool. Let's say I want to save the view here on the elevator lobby. I will first position my current view on it, and then I can simply click on this plus sign in the bookmarks window or press B on my keyboard. Once done, this window will appear, and I will of course name it 7th floor elevator lobby. This current view has now been bookmarked and is listed in the left window called the bookmark window. If I go to a random page and I want to get back to the 7th floor elevator lobby immediately, I can simply click on the bookmark that I made and the view will automatically show up on my screen. In PlanSwift, you can add as many bookmarks as you want. Back to you, Jemima.
Thanks, Kat. This time, I'm gonna teach you guys how to overlay. If you want to compare pages imported on your project or job, you can do it with the overlay tool. Take note that the overlay may not be that helpful if you are comparing pages that are just scanned copies. So, for this demonstration, I will use the water distribution plans from our engineering utilities course. By the way, this is how you add new pages to your job. Click on this plus sign, select from image files, click next, and then browse and select your files, click next, next, finish. You have now imported new pages. Let's say that I want to overlay this 3rd floor water distribution plan over the 2nd floor water distribution plan. To do this, make sure first that both pages are scaled and leveled. I already scaled and leveled them. I just cut the video. Next, go to the page where you want to put an overlay. In my case, it's the 2nd floor plan. Then, click the overlay button on the top right ribbon bar menu and choose what type of overlay you would like to perform. Let's go first with the standard overlay. Click next. You can name the page you want to overlay, also known as the overlay page, and set its color. Select the overlay page from the list. So, my overlay page would be the 3rd floor water distribution plan. Click Finish. This window will pop up asking you if you would like to align the overlay. I'm gonna go click No since they are already aligned. And as you can see, the 3rd floor plan is now overlaid on the 2nd floor plan, but it is in red color and is somewhat transparent. You can now compare the two pages and you can also do takeoff. If you want a more detailed comparison of the pages, use the comparative overlay. Repeat the same process but now selecting the comparative overlay once you click the overlay button. In comparative overlay, the additions and deletions are shown. Additions are shown in red color while deletions are shown in blue color. This wall, for example, is in blue color, meaning it is absent in the overlay page but is present in the current page. Sections that are present in the current page but are absent on the overlay page are called deletions and are blue in color. On the other hand, sections that are present in the overlay page but are absent in the current page are called additions and are in red color. Johndreiz has more to share with you.
I do have more to share, Jemima. Adding markups, highlighters, and notes in your plans can be useful if you are working with a team. To add a markup, click on the drop-down half of the markup button on the ribbon bar menu and select whether your markup will be in the form of an arrow, a box, a line, or even a highlighter. The arrow and line markups are similar to the linear takeoff tool, plus the freehand tool works on them as well. The box and highlighter is similar to the box mode when using an area or linear takeoff. You can change the color of the markup by clicking the markup color. You can also add nodes in your plans, which has a similar mechanic to adding a text in AutoCAD, but with a transparent colored background. If you have markups on your plans, you can hide them by going to the View tab and clicking on Hide Markups. You can also hide labels, take off items, overlays, dimensions, notes, and cut lines in your plans. Clicking on the PlanSwift logo allows you to specify pages that you want to print by clicking on Print. Select the pages you want to print, then select if you want to print image only, print visible items, or print current view. That is for me. Your turn, Mr. Panganiban.
Thank you, JD. If you want to view the full details of your takeoff summary, go to the Estimating tab. The Estimating tab provides a summary of all of your takeoffs in the current job. The takeoffs are displayed in a grid, which is called a layout. Layouts can be modified by adding or removing columns, or by deleting a takeoff, which removes a row. By clicking on the Columns button on the ribbon bar menu, you can see that PlanSwift already has these pre-made descriptions of columns that you might want to display or hide in your summary. All you have to do is to tick or untick them. Takeoff totals appear at the bottom of the layout. Layout may be filtered in sections, can be printed, and can be exported to Excel. Before we export this data to Excel, let me first tidy it up. For me, these are just the data that I need to export in my Excel worksheet. So to export your data to Excel, click on the Export to Excel button, and once clicked, PlanSwift automatically export all the displayed data on the layout to an Excel spreadsheet, even if Excel isn't open yet. I can now save this file and enjoy the rest of my day because PlanSwift has helped me save so much time with its takeoff tools. Let's talk about PlanSwift's integration to Microsoft Excel. As we have presented, PlanSwift's integration with Excel provides the ability to live link and update Excel workbooks in real time. Take note that integrating PlanSwift with Excel is not the same as exporting data from PlanSwift to Excel. Unfortunately, since we only crack PlanSwift, its integration to Excel cannot be performed on our devices because Excel reads the cracked PlanSwift as a corrupt file and it displays this error message whenever we try to do the integration. Therefore, the next video is a recycled one from YouTube. So to integrate PlanSwift with Excel, open first the job you want in PlanSwift to link to an Excel worksheet. Then open Microsoft Excel. On the Microsoft Excel ribbon, click on the PlanSwift ribbon bar tab. By the way, this tab is automatically integrated in Excel once you have installed PlanSwift on your device. Let's say you have a bill of quantities worksheet like this, and you want your data on PlanSwift to be automatically inputted in Excel once you digitize them. Click the Connect button on the upper left, in which it then transitions to a red Disconnect button. Takeoffs can now be initiated using the area, linear, segment, and count tools in Excel. So let's try to take off the number of doors, labeled as D3, using the count tool. First, click on the cell where you want your data to be inputted. Then click on the count tool. PlanSwift automatically pops up on your screen and displays the properties count window. So name it and press OK. You may now proceed to do your takeoff. Once you're done, stop the takeoff. And if you go back to your Excel worksheet, you can see that the datum from your PlanSwift takeoff is automatically inputted in Excel. If you want to add to that takeoff, click on the green button beside that takeoff item in PlanSwift and proceed to digitize again. Once you stop, the value in Excel will also update. It now has a total of 5 doors counted, which is previously 2. You can also do this in area, linear, and segment takeoff. So that is all guys for the simulation of PlanSwift. Imagine the time we could have saved if we knew all of this during the takeoff requirements in our quantity surveying course. Nevertheless, thank you for listening and we hope we helped you learn something.